Good morning, students. Welcome to today's class. Dear students, in our last few classes, we are learning about tenses. So, in this respect, we have already learned about the simple tenses, that is, simple present, simple past, and simple future tenses. And during our last class, we have gone through the topic present continuous tense also. As per the syllabus we are following this time regarding tenses, we have to cover up simple tenses, continuous tenses, and perfect tenses. So, dear students, today we will know about past continuous tense and future continuous tense. We will go through these two topics one by one. First of all, let us know what is a past continuous tense. A past continuous tense is also known as past progressive, and it is the tense which describes actions or events in a time before now which began in the past and were still going on when another event occurred. So, a past continuous tense is that kind of tense or the actions which have already started in past time and they are going on in the past time even. We will know about the uses of past continuous tenses. That means in which all cases we use past continuous tense. It is used to describe the background in a story written in the past tense. So, we generally use the past continuous tense when we are narrating a story to somebody, or when we are telling the story, we are using past continuous tense. Like when we begin a story, like the sun was shining and the birds were singing as the elephant came out of the jungle. It means when the elephant came out of the jungle, it was a very pleasant moment, and so the sun was shining at the time and the birds were singing. So in order to give the story a very good effect, we are using past continuous tense. Past continuous tense is also used to express a change of mind. So when we are changing our mind to do something else, we are using past continuous tense. Like, I was going to spend the day at the beach, but I have decided to get my homework done first. So this is a example when our mind changes. Like first I have decided to I have decided to spend my time at the beach, but at the next moment I realized that it is much more important to complete my homework. So after completing my homework, I'll decide whether I'll go to the beach or not. Past continuous tense is also used when an action in the past is occurred which overlaps other action or a time. Like, I was going to the station when I met John. My going to the station and meeting John, these two actions have overlapped. We can use the past continuous tense with the temporary habits or the habits that happen more often than we expect in the past. We use always, constantly, or forever here. This kind of rule we have used in our present continuous tense also. The example is, he was always leaving the tap running. She was constantly singing. Like, he was always leaving the tap running means it has become his habit to leave the tap running. And she was constantly singing means singing is her hobby or passion, so she was continuing singing. Past continuous tense is used to emphasize that something lasted for a while. Example is, I was working in the garden all day. He was studying all evening. That means the action is continuing the whole day or the whole evening. The action of working in the garden and the action of studying. Now the formation of past continuous tense. So we have to learn these rules, that how to form these tenses, which will help us doing our exercises. Subject, that is a doer, plus helping verb. So since we are talking about past continuous, past tense, so we will use was or were. So subject plus helping verb, that is was or were, plus base plus ing plus object. So this is the base plus ing is the main thing while forming the continuous tense. So base word plus ing and the object. I have given two examples here. I was going to school. She was learning the lesson. So since we are also using were here, so you can write they were learning the lessons also. Let us see some other rules, or what is it, what is past continuous tense as a whole. As a whole, we can say, after going through the definition and the examples and the formation along with the rules of past continuous tense, we can say that the past continuous tense is used to describe actions that began in the past and often continued for a short period of time after the action started. This tense describes actions or events that happened at a specific time in the past. So what have we learned? That the action which has started in the past tense and it's also continuing in the past time only after the action has been started. So dear students, what all we have learned? We have learned the definition of past continuous tense along with the examples. Then we have also learned the uses, and we have learned the formation of past continuous tense, and as a whole we have understood that past continuous tense is used, or we use them in our sentence, or we can say that it describes about the actions which have already began in the past time, and it's also continuing after the action had been started. As we have decided to cover a future continuous tense also, so let us know something about future continuous tense. Present continuous and past continuous, future continuous tense is also known as future progressive tense. Although future continuous tense is rarely used in the sentences while writing, but while speaking we use future continuous tense, and it has its own effect also, it has its own importance. So the future continuous tense is often used in English as a way to talk about something happening at a given point in the future. Present continuous tense, the actions are happening in present time. Past continuous tense, the actions are occurring in past tense. And future continuous tense, we know about the actions which are happening in some time in the future. Now the making of future continuous tense is subject plus auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb we have done in our model verbs also, and you should know about auxiliary, primary auxiliary, secondary auxiliary also. So will or shall is known as auxiliary verb. So in the making of the future continuous tense, it is subject, that is the doer, plus auxiliary verb will, and the auxiliary verb be also, along with the base plus ing and the object. This base plus ing we are using in simple continuous, in present continuous, past continuous and future continuous, all the three tenses. Only the difference is here with future continuous tense, that we are using auxiliary verb after subject, and we are also using another auxiliary verb, that is be. So this auxiliary verb will is the secondary auxiliary verb, and auxiliary verb be is the primary auxiliary verb. So according to the making of future continuous tense, we have some exercises here. That is, I will be working in the office. She will not be using the car. Will you be playing football? So here the three sentences are written in different ways. First is positive sentence, second is negative sentence, and third is interrogative sentence. In all the three forms, the examples are written here. Now we will know about the uses of future continuous tenses. Future continuous tense is used to talk about future events that will be in progress. We often use it to make a contrast between a present event and a future event. I'm reading it once again. Future continuous tense is used to talk about future events that will be in progress at a specific time in the future. We often use it to make a contrast between a present event and a future event. We are using this future event, sometimes we might have planned it in present also only, and we are going to give it a shape in the future time. The example is, this time tomorrow I will be enjoying with my friends. Here there is a contrast between the present time and the future time. This time is a present and tomorrow is future. So tomorrow at the same time, it's a plan. Tomorrow at the same time I will be enjoying with my friends. Similarly, we use future continuous tense to talk about not so existing moments. Repeating again, we can use the future continuous tense to talk about not so existing moments, like the moment which are not existing. Example is, this time next week I'll be waiting at the doctor's clinic. So it is my plan. I have decided that next week this time only I'll be waiting at the doctor's clinic. It's a non-existing moment, because we don't know that whether in future time this action will occur or not. We use future continuous tense to make predictions about the present. She will be getting ready for school. They will be having dinner at that time. So we have decided here to make predictions. Dear students, we were talking about the use of future continuous tense in order to make predictions about the present. So it can make predictions that about what we have thought in the present time about any action. The examples are, she will be getting ready for school. So as we know about her actions very well, we are aware of her activities and at what time what does she do. So we can say that she will be getting ready for school. At that time she will be getting ready for the school. They'll be having dinner at that time. We know the time when they used to have their dinner. So we can predict about the actions of people at that time. So dear students, as a whole we can say that the future continuous tense expresses the action that will be ongoing at some time in the future. As I've already told you earlier that present continuous tense, we talk about the actions which are ongoing in the present time. In past continuous tense, the actions which are going on in present time. And in future continuous tense, we talk about the activities and the events which are ongoing at some time in the future. The examples of future continuous tense I would like to tell you once again. He will be enjoying the holidays in December. So that is his plan. It will not be raining all day tomorrow. This is a prediction, as we have just now talked about the rules and the uses of future continuous tense. Will she be learning French? So here again we have used all the three sentences with positive, negative and interrogative form. I hope you have understood this chapter very well. Dear students, tenses are although if you practice it is very easy. Otherwise, if we are not in practice of tenses, we will never able to understand. So lots of practice is required to know about tenses. That is writing practice, and the easiest way to know tenses well is if we speak in English even at home. Like when we speak more, we will be able to understand whether we are using the correct form of verb or tenses while speaking or not. Because instead of writing, when we speak a different language which is not our mother tongue, there are many people, you can see their facial expressions and you can understand whether you are speaking the language correctly or not. And since you are children now, you are learners, there is no harm when people around you correct you every time when you are wrong. There is nothing to feel bad about, because in the whole world, your parents, your relatives, your teachers, or everybody wants the betterment of yours. So dear students, I will always say, being an English teacher, that grow a habit of speaking in English even at home. Even if people at your home don't speak with you in English, but you try to answer in English every time whenever they ask you anything. I'm 100% sure that when you speak every time in English at home, everybody at your home will be very happy with you, and they will be very thrilled that you are studying in a better school in which you are growing good habits. Because once you will learn speaking good English, it will become your habit of speaking in English. And in the beginning, people may make fun of you, but afterwards people will follow you. So with the hope that you will speak in English, because tenses are very critical. If your writing practice as well as your speaking practice is required. Even if we teach in school, you will never understand it 100% if you don't practice at home speaking and writing both the forms. So I'm ending my lecture here, and kindly go through the notes through video or PDF every time, because every time whenever I teach you, I make notes first and then I used to teach you. I never take from Google. Sometimes I take help from Google, but I'm not sending you the screenshots. I'm writing here, I'm preparing my own notes so that you will be benefited, you can see properly and you can understand the things in your own ways. Okay students, I have given you a short homework. Since we have completed simple tenses and continuous tenses, so this is a small homework for you. You read the sentences very well. What you have to do, use the correct form of the verbs given in the brackets in the blanks of the sentences given below. And in bracket words, you have to use in the blanks the correct form of tenses of the bracket words only. These are the verbs. So, the correct form which will suit here. I'm reading the questions for you. Every Monday, Samson dash her kids to you make it he's here. I'm reading the question once again. Every Monday, Samson dash his kids to football practice. Here, the bracket word is drive. Second question, usually I dash as a secretary at a firm by this summer. Full stop. I dash French at a language school in Paris. The language school in Paris. That is why I am in Paris. Third one, be quiet, John dash. You can see the bracket verse your own, because if I'll read you will be confused. Number 4, don't forget to take your umbrella, it dash. Number 5, I'm sorry I can't hear what you dash because everybody dash so loudly. Number 6, Justin dash a book about his adventures in Tibet. Number 7, this delicious chocolate dash made by a small chocolatier in Zurich, Switzerland. Dear students, I hope you will be trying this exercise and do it. And if you have any queries, you ask me through Campus Care. We are always there for your help. In our next class, we'll know about perfect tenses. Till then, dear students, goodbye. Take care of yourself and your family members. Thank you.